Okay, questions 33 to 37. Let's do them now. Let me tell you, multiple choice questions, they are also type A. Type A means questions and their answers, they are in order. Once you find the answer of question number 33, you go on, you will find 34, then 35, then 36 and all that. Question number 33. What was the problem with using animal skins and wood strips for writing on? Now underline animal skins and wood strips, and what was the problem with that? And listen, you will only read the question. Don't read options. You will not be able to manage your time. Now go back and tell me a paragraph where they talk about animal skins and wood strips. Animal skin and wood strips. It's section A, second paragraph, fourth line after full stop. Other cultures. Found it? Now please follow me here. Section A, second paragraph, fourth line after full stop. Other cultures used more flexible but less permanent surfaces. What was the problem? More flexible. Is it the problem? No. Problem is less permanent. If you write anything on animal skin, right, or you write anything on strip, a wood strip, it was less permanent. Less permanent means it did not last long. Now let's go back. Read all four options and tell me what is the right answer. See that? Option A. They did not last for a long time. Did not last for a long time means less permanent. A will be the right answer. Got it? So, I mean, the way you do your reading test, it's very important. Otherwise, you read the question, you read the options. Then you say, now I go to the passage. So, when you go to the passage with options in mind, your mind is already confused. Okay? Be careful. Question number 34. Why did papyrus manufacturers hammer papyrus? Now, for example, when they made papyrus, after making papyrus, they hammered it. Oh, yeah, they hammered papyrus. Now, what was the purpose of hammering? Why did they do that? Hammer is your clue word. Let's go back. I told you answers are in order. Paragraph B. And the word hammer is in fourth last line. I am reading it from fifth last line after full stop. These were then covered. Found it? These were then covered with a second layer of strips. So what happened? There was a layer of strip. These were then covered with second layer of strips which were laid at right angles to the first, then soaked in water and hammered together. Look at me. Hammered together. Together means to join them. So purpose of hammering was together, means to join them. Like they hammer it and then they are joined. Okay? So now let's go back. Hammered together. Go through the options. Exactly. Option B. To join the layers of pitch strips together. Hammer together and join the layers of pitch strips together. Right answer for question number 34 is B. Question number 35. When referring to burning libraries and books, underline burning libraries and books, the writer is suggesting that. Now this is, as I mentioned, this is advanced level English. You will first see where do they talk about burning the books and libraries. And then what is it that writer suggests. So please come back. Which paragraph is that? Burning libraries and books. Okay, please come to a paragraph above D, collections of documents, paragraph above D, okay, above D we have collections of documents and there they talk about burning libraries. So I am reading it from second line after full stop. For thousands of years, found it? For thousands of years, now please follow me. For thousands of years, governments, despots and conquerors have resorted to burning libraries and books to rid themselves. Now the purpose, what does he suggest? To rid themselves of inconvenient evidence, means the books and libraries contain some evidence, right? Second, or obliterate cultures, to forget or to wipe out cultures and ideas that they found. What do they mean by they? Governments, kings, rulers, that they found politically, morally or religiously unacceptable. So why do they burn the library? They forget about cultures, old cultures and the political ideas which are not acceptable for them. So that's why they burn the libraries. Morally, religiously unacceptable. Okay? So let's go back. So we just go through the options. When referring to burning libraries and books, the writer is suggesting that option A, information can be used for harms as well as for good. Not at all. And your job is to minimize the options so that you could guess also. So A is wrong. B, new ways must be found to ensure information is not lost. Not at all. Now it's 50-50. Option C, cultural knowledge depends on more than written texts. Not at all. The word culture is used, but they use the word obliterate culture. Not cultural knowledge depends on written text. This thing is not mentioned. Option D, those in power may wish to keep others in ignorance. Those in power, governments, may wish to keep others in ignorance. When they burn the library, when they burn, like in our country, they burn record. 7th floor set on fire. Why? So that all the proofs are gone. I'm on recording, so sorry about that, okay? Anyway, so option D, those in power may wish to keep others in ignorance. This has been going on such a long time and even now this is happening, right? So they burn books, libraries, records so that those in power may wish to keep others in ignorance. D will be the right answer. Question number 36. Writer refers to Thor Heyerdahl. Now underline Thor Heyerdahl. He is a very famous writer for children and for adults. Writer refers to Thor Heyerdahl to illustrate the point. Illustrate means to exemplify. Right? Writer refers Thor Heyerdahl to illustrate the point that, yes, that's right. It's paragraph D for doctor. And where is the word Thor Heyerdahl? Yeah, I'm reading it from there. Third line after full stop. In 1969, adventurer Thor Heyerdahl attempted to cross the Atlantic from Morocco in the boat Ra. If you remember Ra 1, Indian movie, that concept was taken from here. Boat Ra. To show that, now why did he use that boat? To show that it was possible for mariners in ancient times to cross the Atlantic Ocean. Ra was made from bundles of papyrus stems and modeled on ancient Egyptian craft. Now what was Ra? Ra was a boat, and this boat was made from bundles of papyrus stems. And what is papyrus? It is a plant. So he used the boat made from papyrus. It means it could be a small boat made from the stem of papyrus and all that. Now keep this in mind and we go back and see which option is the right one. The writer refers to Thor Heyerdahl to illustrate the point that option A, papyrus could be used as food on long sea voyage. No, they used it in boat. Option B, ancient Egyptians already had advanced navigation skills. No. Option C, papyrus could be used to build boats for long sea journeys. Exactly. Papyrus could be used to build boats. C will be the right answer. And option D, ancient Egyptians knew of the environmental benefits. Not at all. So the right answer is option C. Question number 37. What does the writer conclude about papyrus today? Always remember, whenever they talk about future or if the passage is in the past and they talk about present, that is in the last paragraph. Yeah, I'm right, okay. I was looking around. Is it in the last paragraph or not? What does the writer conclude? Conclude means last paragraph. About papyrus today. Okay, last paragraph. Can you see the word nowadays? Last paragraph, fourth last line, nowadays. I'm reading this sentence from the beginning. What makes papyrus noteworthy for Western societies nowadays is its use as the surface upon which our ancient ancestors recorded their lives, okay, their art and their science. So nowadays we just think about papyrus that it's used as the surface upon which our ancient ancestors recorded their lives, their art and their science. In the words of ancient Roman philosopher, and then it is the material on which the immortality of human being depends. Now, what does the writer conclude about papyrus today? Option A, it is better for the environment than using paper. Not at all. There is no comparison. Option B, its significance is restricted to its role in the past. Option C, it is still the best writing surface. No, he said our ancestors wrote their things and all that. Still the best writing surface not mentioned. Option D, more efforts need to be made to ensure it stays in use. Not at all. Right answer is gone. Now, tell me what is the right answer? Right answer is option B for boy. Its significance. Now, what is significance? Nowadays is its use as the surface upon which our ancient ancestors recorded their lives. This is the significance. Is restricted to its role in the past. So, what is role in the past? That papyrus is a surface upon which our ancient ancestors recorded their lives, and that's it. So, B will be the right answer for question number 37. Okay. Now, we are going to see how to deal with double multiple choice questions in IELTS reading part 2. Very important. Where out of 5 options, you have to select 2 options. Okay? Yeah. If you don't understand at all and time is running out, then you can write A, B, at least one will be right, or you can choose the last 2 options. First 2 or last 2. Don't select randomly. Okay, if true false not given, time is running out, no time left, all true. Okay, no problem. Out of 5, 1 or 2 will be right. Okay, all false, out of 5 or 6, 1 or 2 will be. This is emergency tip. Don't use it. Okay, in case of emergency, last 10 minutes left and you have a lot of questions to do, especially true false not given, multiple choice and all that, then you can use this tip. Okay, but anyways, you need to read, understand and then do it. Now, come to questions 19 and 20. Questions 19 and 20. Which 2 of the following statements are made in the text about Amsterdam bike sharing scheme of 1999? Now, we will find a paragraph where they talk about Amsterdam bike sharing scheme of 1999, and there we will find 2 statements which are true. So, Amsterdam bike sharing scheme 1999. Look for that. Amsterdam bike sharing scheme 1999. Okay. Yes, first you find it in a second page, first paragraph, and you see the word 1999. Okay, now we need to see 2 statements, and when the statements are given, sometimes they are in inverted commas, Otherwise, they are like someone said and all that. So please follow me. I'm reading this paragraph from the beginning. Second page, first paragraph. In the Netherlands, and this time he succeeded in arousing the interest of the Dutch Ministry of Transport. Times had changed. He recalls, inverted commas are important, I told you. Number one, times had changed. People had become more environmentally conscious, and the Danish experiment had proven that bike sharing was a real possibility. And then they talk about 1999. Now let's go back and find one option for times had changed, people had become more environmentally conscious. From A to E, times had changed and people had become more environmentally conscious. Absolutely correct answer for this is option D. And what is that? It was made possible by a change in people's attitude. And what was the change in people's attitude? They mentioned times had changed. People had become more environmentally conscious. So people becoming more environmentally conscious, that was the change in people's attitude. So one correct answer for question number 19 is option D. Okay. Now let's go on. If you see paragraph E, they further talk about this bike sharing scheme of 1999. So please come to this paragraph. Paragraph E, everyone. E for elephant. Theo Molinar, who was a system designer, okay, please come to second line. I remember when we were testing the bike racks, he announced that he had already designed better ones. Now they are talking about bike racks and all that. Okay, please come to this fifth line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th, 6th line. Paragraph E for elephant, 6th line. I really have no idea what people did with them because they could instantly be recognized as white bikes. But the biggest blow came. Now another statement they are giving, and they are talking about 1999 bike sharing scheme of Amsterdam. But the biggest blow came when Postbank decided to abolish the chip card because it wasn't profitable. That chip card was pivotal to the system, Molinar says. To continue, again inverted commas, read this carefully. To continue the project, we would have needed to set up another system, but the business partner had lost interest. What happened? Business partner lost interest. That was their another statement. Now come back and look for something for business partner had lost interest. Exactly. Option B. It failed when a partner in the scheme withdrew support. For withdrew support, they use the word lost interest. When someone loses interest, he withdraws the support. So correct answer is option B and option D.
We have found the delta option first.
Yeah.
And beta later.
Exactly. It is possible that they can be before and after. They will not be in order.
I'm asking what if I'll be writing the answers in my answer sheet.
Your answer, I tell you, I got your point. If you write 19D, 20B, or you write 19B, 20D, both ways your answer is correct. Okay, only in double multiple choice, not everywhere. That's why I don't tell it to the student, then they do it everywhere. Okay, yeah, only in double multiple choice. For example, when there are two questions, we call them group questions. So in case of group questions like 19 and 20, you can write your answer in any order. BC or, BD or DB. Both ways it's right. Now, let's do questions 21 and 22. Choose two letters A to E. Write the correct letter in boxes 21 and 22 on your answer sheet. Which two of the following statements are made in the text about Amsterdam today? Now, I want you to go through the passage and look for Amsterdam today. And by the way, whenever they say anything about present or future, that usually comes in the first or the last paragraph. Amsterdam today. Look for Amsterdam today. In Amsterdam today, it's the last paragraph, paragraph G. In Amsterdam today. So it means this paragraph will give us two statements. And what is the question? The question is, which two of the following statements are made in the text about Amsterdam today? So let's see. I'm reading it from the beginning. In Amsterdam today, 38% of all trips are made by bike, and along with Copenhagen, it is regarded as one of the two most cycle-friendly capitals in the world. Two most cycle-friendly capitals in the world. 38% trips are made by bike. Let's come back. From A to E, tell me which option. A to E, 38% trips are made by bike, and it's most cycle friendly capital. Most cycle friendly capital. Option E. Yeah, Fahim, well done. Option E. City has a reputation as a place that welcomes cyclists. Welcome cyclist means cycle friendly. Welcomes cyclists, that means bicycle or bike friendly. So first correct answer is option E. Alright, let's go on. I'm reading it from third line onwards. Paragraph G, third line after full stop. Molinar believes this may be because everybody in Amsterdam already has a bike, and Schimmelpenninck, however, cannot see that this changes Amsterdam's need for bike sharing scheme. Again inverted commas, read carefully. People who travel on the underground don't carry their bikes around. Now people who travel on the underground don't carry their bikes around, but often they need additional transport to reach their final destination. What does it mean? The people who use public transport, they don't carry their bicycles, they need bicycles on rent to reach their final destination. Now let's go back and see which option matches with that. Option D for doctor. Well done, excellent guys, very good. A bike sharing scheme would benefit residents who use public transport, because who are using underground. Now they cannot have their bicycle on their shoulder, okay, and they are in the underground. So in order to reach their final destination, they need bike. Correct answer is D and E. Now how will you write your answers? 21D, 22E, or 21E, 22D, they will accept it, right? No problem. Let's go on. Question number 32 to 35. We've got multiple choice questions. Question number 32. In paragraph A, the writer says that K. Maurer was reminded about Clothkits by. Now, how was he reminded? And by the way, whenever you do multiple choice questions, do not read options first. Only read the question. Go back to the passage, find the answer, and then match that answer with A, B, C, D. So the question is, writer says, K. Maurer, now K. Maurer is your clue word, was reminded about Clothkit. Who or what reminded K. Maurer about Clothkit? In paragraph 1. Please come to paragraph 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth last line. Paragraph 1, fifth last line. I forgot about the skirt. Found it? Yes. Okay. I forgot about that skirt for a long time, but when I mentioned the name Clothkits while we were chatting, it was as if a door suddenly opened on a moment in the past. So how did he come to know? He said when a girlfriend mentioned the name Clothkits while we were chatting, it was as if a door suddenly opened on a moment in the past that resonated with vivid significance for me. Now please come back. Option A, shop she visited? Shop she visited? No. Option B, purchase she made? No. Option C, outfit someone was wearing? No. Option B, conversation with someone she knew. Conversation with someone she knew, and that was girlfriend, right? So D will be the right answer. Okay, on every Valentine's Day, my friend takes flowers to his home. Before his marriage, those flowers were roses, jasmine, and other flowers. And now, every Valentine's Day after marriage, he takes cauliflower. And then they cook that, okay? Anyways, see, love is changed now. So, question number 33. What does the reader learn about Clothkits in 1960s and 1970s? Now, let's find 1960s and 1970s. Exactly, that is in paragraph B for boy, 1960s and 1970s in the middle. Okay, now let's read from there. Clothkits, I'm reading a line above, one line above. Clothkits has always embodied the spirits of the late 1960s and 1970s. Spirits of the time. Okay, when we say spirits of, for example, if I say spirit of 19th century, it means how 19th century was, right? Spirits of the late 1960s and 1970s. Its initial design was a dress in geometric pattern and all that. Just focus this thing. Clothkit has always embodied the spirit of late 1960s and 1970s. Spirit of 1960s and 70s mean it depicts 1960 and 1970s, right? So let's, for example, like we've got Indian singer Kumar Sanu. His songs depict 1990s, 1980s. For 1970s, we've got Lata Mangeshkar. 1980s, we've got this Kumar Sanu and some other singers, Kishore Kumar. Then 1990s, we've got this Kumar Sanu, Alka Yagnik and Udit Narayan. All three are my favorite singers, okay? So, when this is spirit of the time, it means it depicts what happened in that time. Now, please come to the questions. 33. What does the reader learn about Clothkits in the 1960s and 1970s? They use the word spirit of the time. Option A, its designs represent the attitude of the time. Attitudes of the time means spirit of the time. Exactly. Let's read other options. Option B, its products were only affordable for the wealthy. Not at all. Option C, its creator tried many times to launch her company. No. Option D, its management was spread across numerous countries. Not at all. Correct answer is A. Designs represented the attitude of the time. Attitude of the time means spirit of 1960s and 70s. Question number 34. Why did Clothkits close in 1991? Now we will find the reason. Why did they close the company in 1991? Well done. Paragraph C, 1991. Okay, in 1991, Clothkit was made dormant, and there, we read one line above, okay? So, please come to this line. Let's go above a couple of lines. Let me find the full stop. Okay, I'm reading it from third line, paragraph C, third line, after full stop. She sold the company to one of her suppliers, who then sold it on Freeman's, which ran Clothkits alongside its own brand for a while, using Kennedy's impressive database, but its ethos as a big cooperative company did not sit well alongside the alternative and artistic value of Clothkit. So in 1991, Clothkit was made dormant, means they closed the company. Right? Now we find the reason here. Read this thing again. Freeman's, which ran Clothkits alongside its own brand for a while, using Kennedy's impressive database, but its ethos as a big corporate company did not sit well alongside the alternative and artistic value of Clothkits. Now come back. Why did Clothkit close in 1991? Option A, there were unexpected staffing problems. No. Option B, funding for sewing activities was inadequate. Not at all. Now we are left with two options. Option C, Freeman's was an unsuitable partner. No. Option D, records on Kennedy's database were lost. No. You are not understanding. You are only saying database and database. Now, database was lost. There is no mention. Go back. Come back here. You see the word database, okay? They said here, using Kennedy's impressive database. They did not say database was lost. There is no mention. Now, don't do this. This is blind IELTS. Database, database. That's the right answer. Not like this. Correct answer is C. Freeman's was an unsuitable partner. Why unsuitable partner? I tell you why. If you come back here. Exactly. They said Athos as a big corporate company did not sit well. Did not sit well means it was unsuitable for him. Did not sit well alongside the alternative and all that. Okay. Question number 35. What point does the writer make in paragraph E? Now please come to paragraph E, and over here you need to read, skip reading, and you need to see what is the point. And by the way, when they make a point, it's in inverted commas. So please come to third line. Paragraph E, third line after full stop. I wanted to feel that everyone involved in the brand from design to production was part of a process I could witness. Okay, let's read on. I couldn't see the point of manufacturing on the other side of the world, as that's not what Clothkits has ever been about. The revival of Clothkits has also, of course, coincided with a growing sense of dissatisfaction at our disposable society. Disposable society now we use the thing and throw it. Okay, like disposable bottles and all that. And the resulting resurgence of interest in skills such as sewing and knitting. Making your own clothes gives you a greater appreciation of craftsmanship and all that. Okay, let's just follow this one. Just focus this thing. I wanted to feel, third line after full stop. I wanted to feel that everyone involved in the brand from design to production was part of the process. And then the next line, I couldn't see the point of manufacturing on the other side of the world, as that's not what Clothkits has ever been about. And revival of Clothkits. Now please come back. What point does the writer make in paragraph E? Option A, Clothkits will reach more markets than in the past. He said no, we don't have any point to go to the other part of the world. Option B, Clothkits will need bigger premises than in the past. Not at all. They did not mention premises. Option C, people are more concerned about throwing away, disposable society. Okay, about throwing away items than in the past. So correct answer is C. And by the way, for throwing away, they use the word disposable society. And option D, people do less sewing now than in the past. No, it's not that. Okay, so C will be the right answer for question number 35. Okay, now we go on and we try to do this multiple choice questions, and finally we will come back to list of headings. Question number 38. In section A, we learned that in the past people thought white storks. Now listen, section A, and thought of people in the past about what? About white storks. Belief of people, thought of people. So we go back to section A, right? And thought of people about storks in the past. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 last line after full stop, shortly after the restoration. Found it? Yes, shortly after the restoration of King Charles II in 1660, while storks were rare but surviving, Parliament debated putting greater effort into destroying them entirely. Now Parliament debated that storks should be destroyed entirely for fear they might inspire republicanism. Today, fortunately, the notion has disappeared. Now, in the past, they wanted to destroy all the storks because the fear was they might inspire republicanism. Now, what is republicanism? That state is governed by people, not by kings. So, they wanted to kill all the storks because stork was a symbol of freedom, right? So, they wanted to kill all of them. Now, we come back to question. In section A, we learned that in the past people thought white storks, option A, represented the deep snow and cold days of winter. There is no mention. Option B, white storks had the power to ensure that babies were born safely. No. Option C, were a specialty that only the very rich were allowed to eat. No. When three options are wrong and you are sure, obviously fourth one is right. D, might be used to encourage people to get rid of monarchy. Get rid of monarchy, and for that they use the word republicanism. For fear they might inspire republicanism. So if they inspire republicanism, it means they will get rid of monarchy. Monarchy means kings and they are controlling the whole country and all that. Okay. So question number 38. Answer is D. Question number 39. Sussex Wildlife Trust Committee was unwilling to support the storks. Now imagine a committee is not willing to support the storks because what's the reason? We go back and we read about Sussex Wildlife Trust Committee. Come back. You will find Sussex Wildlife Trust Committee in paragraph D. D for doctor. Paragraph D. Okay, found it? I'm reading it from there. Okay, I'm reading it from the beginning, and paragraph D from the beginning. And yet its path to restoration in the UK has not been smooth. Support from conservation body has been surprisingly difficult to obtain. Some were hard pressured with their own initiatives, while others were simply reluctant to stick their necks out. In addition, the committee, now from here you need to read carefully, and the question is Sussex Wildlife Trust Committee was unwilling to support the storks because, so the committee of Sussex Wildlife Trust raised doubts about the stork ever having been a British bird. They said it's not a British bird, why should we support it? Got the point? They said stork is not a British bird, so why should we support it? So they did not support it because it was a British bird, means it was not a British bird. Now option A, unwilling to support the storks because option A, it thought there might not be any safe breeding place locally. No. Option B, it worried whether they would survive in Britain long enough. No. Option C, it was unsure that they were actually a native species. Native species and British bird. So, okay, so they were unsure that they were actually a native species. That's why they didn't actually do that. So C will be the right answer for question number 39. And you don't need to read option D. Question number 40. What has been one effect, underline one effect, of stork reintroductions in Europe? So they reintroduced storks in Europe. What has been one effect of that? Please come to paragraph E, where they talk about across Europe and stork reintroduction and all that. I'm reading paragraph E from fourth last line. Okay. I'm reading it from fourth line after full stop. Paragraph E, fourth line after full stop, living memory, and then where storks have been reintroduced. So this is the portion which is related to that. And we are going to look for one effect of stork reintroduction in Europe. Okay, where storks have been reintroduced, they are greeted with great happiness, and some historical stork festivals have been restored. Okay, now stork festivals have been restored. Spanish erect poles for nests. Spanish people, they erected poles so that storks could make their nests there. What does it mean? People welcome them. They had festivals related to storks and all that. Spanish erect poles for nests along their motorways, and in Alsace, householders install cart wheels for storks. They had the cart wheels so that storks could come, lay eggs there and all that. Cart wheels for storks to build nests on the roofs. During a cold snap in Bulgaria last March, villagers even gave white storks access to their homes. They allowed them to enter their house and live there and all that. So this is all about people's behavior and effect of that. Now, option A variety of measures have been taken to create nesting sites. B, changes have been made to the routes of some major roads. Not at all. Option C, special shelters have been made to protect the birds in bad weather. Shelters, they created poles and all that, but they did not link it with bad weather. Option D, some people have strengthened their roofs to support the bird's weight. Not at all. Correct answer is A. A variety of measures have been taken to create nesting sites. And what are those variety of measures? Spanish erect poles, then cart wheels, and then some people allowed them to enter their house. So these are the measures. Question number 40, right answer is A.